Let's go ahead and get started with the second chapter in Unit 9 on Social Security benefits. Our objectives are as follows. I will understand the benefits paid by Social Security. I will understand how benefits are computed. And I will compute federal income tax on benefits that are paid under Social Security. Here is our key terms for the unit. Make sure that you have read through these before watching the video and are familiar with all of them. All right, for example 1, it says here that in 2009, Jose had 2 jobs. He earned $73,440 working at a nursing home in the first 8 months. He switched jobs in September and began to work at a hospital where he earned $42,566. How much Social Security tax did he overpay? Well, before we can calculate that, we need to understand the maximum for 2009. And I've written that here on the screen, and it was 6.2% of $106,800, or a maximum of $6,621.60. So we know that Social Security in this year was paid at 0.62 or 6.2%. So if we take that and we multiply it by what he earned at job 1 and do that again for what he earned at job 2, we will find the total that he paid in 2009. Using our calculator, I calculated this already, and we end up with $4,553.28 for job 1 and $2,639.03 for job 2. Now if we add those together, we find that Jose paid a total of $7,192.31. We already know that the maximum here was the $6,621.60, so he most definitely paid over. And the question is asking how much did he go over or pay over. So if we take what he paid and we subtract the maximum that should have been taken out, we find that he overpaid by an amount of $570.71. And how we would get that back, there's a line on our 1040A form that he actually has to list that on there as an overpayment of FICA or Social Security tax, and he will get that refunded to him. All right, please go ahead and press pause, complete the you-do, and when you're ready, come back and we'll finish it out. Okay, it says Monique had 2 employers in 2007. Both employers took out 6.2% in Social Security tax. The maximum taxable income was $97,500. Monique earned X dollars at one job, Y at a second, and both of those combined were greater than $97,500. Express her refund algebraically. So we know that she paid 6.2%, and we've got X plus Y is job 1 plus job 2. And then we're going to subtract out the 0.062 times the maximum for that year, which was the $97,500, which was the maximum taxable income again. And there's our equation. All right, number 2. It says here, Fran requests her annual Social Security statement from Social Security Administration each year. She wants to check how many Social Security credits she received for 2009. She worked all year and earned $8,102 per month. How many credits did she earn for 2009? So before we can answer that, we need to understand a couple of things. First off, you can earn 1 credit for each quarter, and you have to have earned at least $1,092 in that quarter to earn your credit. So we know that she earned a total of $8,102 and that she worked all year. So if we take that and we divide it by, if we take that and divide it by 4, we would actually get 4,000. Sorry, I'm doing this wrong. Let's back up this in a second. So what we need to do is we need to take 4 credits, have to earn at least 1,092 each quarter for a maximum, or for a total or minimum of 4,360. We know that she earned $8,102, which is clearly over the 4,360. So on her statement, she earned all 4 of her credits for that year. So in 2009, she earned 4 credits. All right, go ahead and complete the you-do. Press pause. When you're ready, come back. All right, looking at this one, Beth earned $5,600, which is clearly over the 4,360 we saw that she had to make. But there's some differences here. She worked part-time the first half of the year. And then she left for college and she didn't work. This is key. So if she only worked for the first half of the year, she worked 2 quarters. She did earn enough for those 2 quarters, so in this case, she earned only 2 credits because she did not work the second half of the year. That one's a little catchy. All right, example number 3. Marissa reached age 62 in 2007. She did not retire until years later. Over her life, she earned an average of $2,300 per month. After her earnings were adjusted for inflation, what is her Social Security full retirement benefit? So again here, I've already written some information that we need to be able to solve this. First, she's going to receive 90% of that first $680 that she earned. Next, she's going to earn 32% of all the amount she earned between $680 and $4,100. And then in this case, she didn't go over, but if she had gone over the $4,100, she'd earn 15% of the monthly that went over that amount. So calculating it, if we take 0.90, which is 90%, and multiply it by 680, we know she's going to get $612 from that. Next, if we take the 0.32, which is the 32%, the total amount that she earned less the 680, which we've already calculated up above, she gets $518.40 from that. So if we take the $612 and the $518.40 and add them together, we find that Marissa's monthly Social Security check will be $1,130.40. All right, please complete the you-do. Press pause, come back when you're ready. All right, let's see how Ron did. He reached age 62 in 2007. His monthly adjusted earnings were X dollars, and it was greater than $4,100. Express his monthly benefit algebraically. Well, we know that he earned 90% of the 680. He earned 32% of the 4,100 minus the 680. And I know it's that whole amount because it says he went over, plus 15% of the amount over 4,100. Sorry, I wrote that backwards. So it should be 15% of X minus the 4,100. Then there's our equation. All right, example 4. Marissa from example 3 retired at age 65. What will her monthly benefit be since she did not wait until 67 for her full retirement benefits? So again, I've already written down some things that you're going to need to know. If you start collecting at the age of 62, there will be a reduction of 30% on your check. At 63, it's a reduction of 25%. 64 is a reduction of 20%. 65 is a reduction of 13.3%. And 66 is a reduction of 6.7%. So in order to find out what she's going to get, we look at her 100% of her benefits would be the full 1130.40, which we saw in example 3, minus she's going to have a reduction of 13.3%. So she's only going to earn 0.867 or 86.7% of her benefits. So if we take the $1,130.40 and multiply it by 0.867, we will find that Marissa is going to receive a check for $980.06. Please complete the you do, press pause when you're ready, and when you come back, we'll finish it out. Okay, it says find the difference between Marissa's monthly benefit if she retires at 62 instead of 67. Well, at 62, it would only be 70% because we know that it was 30%. If we go back here, if she retires at 62, she gets a 30% reduction, which means she's only getting 70% of the $1130.40, which is a total of $791.28. So the difference between the two, I would just simply subtract the two, and I find that she's getting a difference every single month of $339.12. All right, Rob is 64 years old. He collected $19,612 in Social Security last year. He's married, filing a joint return. On his form, the total of lines 7, 8, 9, 10 through 14, 15B, 16B, 17 through 19, and 21 is $80,433. And I know that it's really hard to read, but it's all right here. And if you look at your online book, you'll be able to see that amount right there. It says that on line 8B of his form, it shows $519. And so that is this value here. And then it says to add lines 2, 3, and 4. So we have our first line is the total amount in box 5. We cut that in half for box 2. Box 3 was the 80,000. Box 4 was the 519. When we added those together, we end up with 90,758. It says line 30. Sorry, let's jump in ahead here. And lines 23 through 32 on his form 140 total 1239. So you see the 1239 is here. And it tells you now to subtract that from line 5, so you end up with the 89,519. It says line 36 on it does not have an amount. What are his taxable Social Security benefits for the year? So, if we read it here, it says if you are married filing jointly, enter 32,000. And I'm reading this right here in this area, and he is married filing jointly, so he filed $32,000. Now if we look at the next chart, it says instructions for lines 10 through 8. It says enter $12,000 if married filing jointly. So he is, that's what he filled out. Then it says subtract line 10 from line 9. So line 9 had the 32,000. So if we take that, we end up with $45,519. Then it says to enter the smaller amount. Well, the smaller amount is 12,000. Then it says to enter half, and so